Hi there, it's Donovan. And yes, I'm no longer homeless. You just caught me playing my daily session of ARMS. There's a first for everyone. It made me look like that I'm doing something else, but really I'm just bashing this guy's head in. God, I wish all video games made me look this stupid.
The Nintendo Wii was a revolution in gaming, but also a complete fucking joke. Motion controls was the Wii's core identity, a truly immersive experience. Sometimes. Throughout the 7th generation, motion controls were all the jazz. It gave birth to all kinds of things. All types of games were implementing motion controls in such unique ways, and it was truly an innovation. As innovative and fun motion controls were, it no doubt changed the look of Nintendo, but also created a rift in the gaming space. It spawned two completely different factions. One was known as the hardcore gamer, while the other one was the filthy casual. This butchered the Wii's good name, but also put a huge stain on Nintendo and motion controls in general. If you told your grandpa about motion controls, he'd have war flashbacks. Many games use motion in such great ways, while others made it more annoying.
I don't want to look like an idiot playing Donkey Kong Barrel Blast. I already am!
And with the Wii long gone in the past, motion control gaming is just a reminder of this. I personally think motion controls is a huge leap forward in innovation, while most other gamers think it's a Wii Sports cooties infector. So, let's dive in deep in the story of motion controls and what happened to them, and where is it today? Many PlayStation games rarely adopt the use of motion. Heck, the Xbox controller doesn't even have motion capabilities. Most of their players probably have never tried out motion controls. We'll get to you later. From what I usually see, people always just shrug off motion controls as just a waste of time and just a gimmick. I mean, they're not wrong, but others are like, I don't want to move my body to play, that's disgusting, they say after running to Taco Bell for a gaming promotion. Have fun in the fucking toilet.
Yes indeed, my cock is huge. I now have a vagina.
The Wii Remote was a dumb, stupid controller. It's not a vibrator, ladies. Wii Condom. But the greatest innovation the Wii Remote gave gaming was the built-in speaker.
Ah!
Oh yeah, I guess it also gave us motion controls. Other than that, the Wii also had an IR camera. And yes, even though this thing can be fooled by a pair of candles, it was such an integral part of the controller, and it made games so much more precise than an analog stick would allow. This game needs no introduction. Wii Sports brought motion controls to the mainstream. You are the tennis player, you are the bowler, and your ass is getting beat by Matt. Wii Sports was loads of fun for everyone of all ages, skilled or trash. This opened gaming to not just these people, but these people. Ew. Everyone wanted a Wii for this alone, and that worked for the better and the worse. After your grandma got her Wii Sports fix, yeah, your Wii was becoming the plastic dust collector. Also, technically speaking, the original Wii Sports wasn't actually very motion accurate. You can win tennis games just by shaking like a maniac, and the nunchuck barely fucking works. But without a doubt, Wii Sports is one of the most important games ever created. I promise you I am not high. So after Wii Sports released, loads of companies threw their hat into the ring of motion-controlled games, and so did Nintendo with a lot of their first-party games. This is where the motion control fad began, where everyone and their mother wanted not just to play games, but to be part of the game. People felt less alienated from video games because of the simple ingenuity and fun of motion controls. People look at this and receive brain damage from the 6-year-old Cheeto dust they smell. So now everyone had to own a Wii to experience this new and simple way of playing fun casual games, which undoubtedly skyrocketed the Wii to success. But here's the problem. Not many games use motion controls very well. Because motion was a hot new thing, a lot of devs felt the need to put motion controls in their games as a selling point. But the problem is that motion was not there to enhance games, but was just there for the sake of having it. Twilight Princess was originally developed as a GameCube game, but was pushed back in order to meet the release of the Wii. Because they were porting the game to the Wii, Nintendo felt the need to add motion controls into the combat. I mean, yeah, it works, but the experience feels much more responsive with button controls. Aiming was just way better on Wii, but everything else could have been done better with a button press. Mario Galaxy and New Super Mario Bros. Wii had you shake the Wii remote to make Mario spin. Yes, it works, A button press is more than enough. Donkey Kong Country Returns had you shake the Wii Remote to blow, ground pound, and roll. The 3DS port gets rid of all of that and remaps everything to buttons, making it so much more responsive and better to play. Too bad your eyes fucking hate this version. Shake the Wii Remote to run, shake the Wii Remote to inhale, shake the Wii Remote to be a piano, shake the Wii Remote and hope it fucking works. Motion controls weren't very often utilized to its fullest potential and was just shoehorned into a ton of games because, oh, that's what grandma wants. The reason why Wii Sports was so successful was because it gave us a new perspective of how a sport game could be played. You're not flicking a stick while holding down A, you're swinging like Federer. I don't want to beat my meat just to roll on the ground. And because motion controls captured tons from the casual crowd, in comes the shovelware. Loads of garbage was thrown on the Wii with lazy games and horrible implementation of motion controls. Alright, we're watching a speed run of Family Go-Kart Racing, the greatest racing game of all time. Forza Horizon Mario Kart? Get the hell out of here. Family Go-Kart Racing, bitch. Alright, let's see how insane this guy actually is. And let's see how insane this game actually really is. Alright, the frame rate is off to a great start. Bro is drifting on ice. What? What is that rainbow, dog? That ain't even a circle. I can count the edges of that circle. Alright, grass barely does anything. Look at Dad go. My favorite character. Dad for Smash. Ooh, this guy is missing corners. He could optimize his run way better. I could be better than him. Although, the difference between me and him is that I'm sane for not playing this game. Wait, I'm just realizing this. He's getting rainbows or whatever, getting stars in first fucking place. Incredible. Incredible game.
No wonder why motion controls get a bad rep. It was used terribly in some cases.
And to make matters worse, Sony and Microsoft also had a fart onto the dumpster fire. Xbox Connect was an ambitious project where the concept of being in the game went full throttle. You don't need a controller anymore. You are the controller. You can assume how great that went. And not only that, but Microsoft was also shoehorning Kinect support for so many games when they were completely useless. Kinect for Halo, you could scream at Kinect to reload or throw grenades and stuff. This probably never worked because the Kinect would most likely hear Xbox Live chat instead of you.
Tell me what the fucking use, huh? Tell me what the fucking use, huh? Tell me what the fucking use.
In the early days of the Xbox One, Kinect was required for the console to function. No wonder why people were sick of motion during the 8th gen. Sony was more tame with their Wii ripoff, the PlayStation Move. Move was a more high-end, ambitious take on the Wii Remote. This utilized the PlayStation camera and glued some colorful balls onto the controller to more accurately detect movement. Just like Microsoft, Sony also injected PS Move into any game they could think of. Sure, unlike the Kinect, PS Move had a more pleasing death as they were used as the controllers of the original PlayStation VR. The Wii even had upgrades to its motion capabilities with the introduction of the Wii Motion Plus. It adds a gyroscope to the controller to sense more detailed motions. This should have been in the controller in the first place. They packed the peripheral with Wii Sports Resort, an amazing expansion and follow-up to Wii Sports with a ton of new sports added to the collection. Because of the more accurate motion controls, new sports were possible thanks to the gyroscope. Sword fighting, table tennis, and more benefited from the additional gyro. And the original sports only became more accurate and precise with the new add-on. Again, this is great, but it should have been here from the start. You're showing me the capabilities of the Wii 3 years later? Red Steel 2 is an awesome example of utilizing the Wii's motion capabilities. Now coupled with Wii Motion Plus, it was kind of a game changer and is a game that probably only works best with a Wii remote. The problem was that it was a mature game for a system made for fucking idiots. So unfortunately it didn't sell too hot. The Metroid Prime trilogy and the Pikmin duology had the best way to play their games thanks to the Wii's IR aiming. But we have the biggest example of Wii Motion Plus, the swan song of the Wii, Skyward Sword. Damn it.
So you, looks like we're having a little interference here. Somebody out there using wireless? Anybody?
I will say this in full honesty. Skyward Sword is a great game. awesome, I'd say. I played the HD remaster, and though it isn't my favorite Zelda game, I still had a blast living this epic adventure in a story that kicks off the timeline. Characters, dungeons, and music, man, they're so good. But the most unique thing about this game is the combat. This game was developed with Wii Motion Plus in mind. Unlike Twilight Princess, these were moves that couldn't be replicated with buttons, and made the experience that much more fresh and fun. Okay, well, I said buttons, not sticks. Skyward Sword HD gave players the option to use the right analog stick to swing your sword, and the port overall gave many the option to not use motion controls entirely. I played the first half of Skyward Sword with motion controls, played the middle portions of the game with button controls, and surprisingly went back to motion controls near the end. I love sword fights, I just couldn't resist. While yes, sticks are definitely more responsive than motion, I honestly found motion to be much more fun. I felt awesome parrying attacks with my shield and strategically swinging the Master Sword and finishing the job with a killing blow. It all felt so natural and so fun! Chipping away at Demise and timing my motions to parry all his attacks was heart-pumping, and when I swung down to get that killing blow, I'm not kidding, it felt so epic. That's one thing motion has over buttons and sticks. Feeling more immersed. I sound insane, I know. It's satisfying and super fun when your motions are accurately executed in the game. It's something you have to experience for yourself. I already told you I'm not high. I know it's not for everyone, but for me, it was just damn awesome.
Now that I've talked about all the highs and lows of motion controls, I want to talk about why motion is still, to this day, a viable option of play.
With motion controls, you have the advantage of using your entire arm. This way you can make huge movements with your arm or precise adjustments with your wrist. Now compare this to using analog sticks to make more precise aiming. With motion controls you can fluidly move your cursor all around the screen, while with an analog stick it feels more jarring and unpredictable. You have all these muscles in your arm for movement, while an analog stick only has a certain restricted radius. Many people consider the Wii version of Resident Evil 4 to be broken because you're not supposed to be this good at aiming. Some people consider that port to be the best version because of the aiming. Splatoon, Zelda, fucking Doom works amazing with motion. The Metroid Prime Trilogy and the Pikmin duology had the best way to play their games thanks to the Wii's IR aiming. And though modern games no longer use IR aiming, gyro aiming is still a great alternative. IR aiming was such an improvement for shooters on Wii, it's almost on par with a mouse. But you want to be cool playing COD, so you would never buy the Wii version. To further prove the legitimacy of motion aiming, let me tell you about aim assist. In games like Halo or Fortnite, controller players are in need of the crutch that is aim assist, where it snaps the crosshair to close targets. You're not good at the game. That's cheating! Analog sticks, an input method so bad for shooters, needs a cheat device that some PC players would call aimbot. You may think you're the greatest stick user ever, but just wait until you take off aim assist to see what happens. People that use stick with no aim assist may get great results, but it just goes to show how poorly sticks are compared to motion aiming. Also, can I mention one more thing about the IR camera? Navigating menus is so much faster with it. Imagine, please don't ever do this, playing Minecraft with a Wii remote instead of a controller. Inventory management would be so much faster. Instead, what I usually do is mash on the D-pad because the analog sticks are too fucking slow. Motion controls are still heavily used, in fact the primary input method for VR. I wasn't joking when I said motion with Skyward Sword made you feel more immersed. Yes, that is you being a badass. I will say this, if you do have motion controls in your games, make it an option. Don't force players to use a control method they might not like. If you don't want motion, just turn it off and have a great time. If you do want motion, then turn it on and go ham with it. This is what many Wii games failed at, giving players options.
The fad of motion controls is thankfully long gone, but what came out of that was a brand new and fun way to play games. When used to its fullest potential, motion controls can be awesome, but if it's shoehorned in or mandatory, it can just absolutely kill the experience. Though motion controls ain't for everyone, you shouldn't neglect the fun ways motion controls allows people to play. Now, if you excuse me, I gotta get back to playing ARMS.
What are you doing?
Playing ARMS!